welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. I got the grill lit. We're fixing to put some baby back ribs on there. I'm gonna do a quick how I do that. But we fixing to make salsa and can some tomatoes. I wanted to film doing the salsa. We make that every year and we eat way more of it than we do canned tomatoes. However, we are putting up some canned tomatoes. So I have done cut off a couple of ears of corn. I just cut both ends off and throw it in here on the grill. I'll show you it laying on there. I may cut a few more off a little later on. So hang with us, we're gonna get to cooking. So what I normally do here is I build a fire out of wood, which is what we are cooking on, just split pieces of oak. And I let it burn down basically to close to coals. Obviously there's still some flames on there. I hadn't put the meat on yet. And that's what I'm gonna cook over. It's a little hot to be just cooking over wood out here, but I'm gonna be in the house mainly and put this on. I'm not gonna be sitting here right with it. Now I am going to be putting some vegetables on the Blackstone too, so that's coming up. I've got, if you see a lot of junk laying here, I was gonna go ahead and just show you, because I know when people see stuff in the background, they wonder what it is. This is all my garlic I pulled up, and it is laying up here drying. We're gonna hang it up somewhere, and so anyway, get the rest of some of my stuff right here picked up. I keep a bucket. We're gonna be throwing tomato scraps, so I've got a bucket up here. I take it in. Now we're gonna do all the tomato deal in the house, so it's hot outside. It ain't as hot today as it has been though. So this is, I use my big bowie, lawnmower blade bowie, to cut the ends off the corn. Basically, I cut right where it's the end of the corn right here, and I'll go ahead and cut one right quick so you can see. I have done this on my corn video, but I'll just show you right now. This is field corn too. This is not sweet corn. And then I feel down there to where it's tapering off, and you basically want to get past the worms. Brody likes corn on the cob, so we mainly cook that for him. I'm gonna leave some out here. That way I've got some more done than others. Lissy likes hers just about charred. Brody don't like his that much, and I can eat it either way, so that's why we're doing that. All right, we got our ribs right here. Now we was at the grocery store and they had a lot of this stuff on sale, which means it was probably getting close to its past date, but you see there's still little pieces of ice on there, so we've had it. We brought it home frozen. We bought 2 pork loins. They were like $13 a piece for like whole pork loins. So it sounds like somebody's in the background trying to make something fit. Maybe they get it worked out. So what I do, sometimes I put mustard on here to help stuff stick, but you see I just pull these straight out of the pack. Easiest thing, y'all. A lot of people want to wrap their stuff in tinfoil, their ribs. I don't like ribs falling off the bone. Now everybody, that's a big, I mean, you're either for it or against it, and that's all there is to it. There ain't no in between. I just put banjo dust on there and we put them on there and cook them. I like to cut my ribs in between every bone, and I like to tear that meat off that bone. That is what I like. If they falling apart, I don't even want them. I can eat them that way. I ain't one of them people that's like, oh, I can't eat that. It ain't cooked the way I like it. I ain't near about that way. I'd rather have it this way. If I want meat falling apart, I'd rather take a big roast and make pulled pork. So, just makes more sense to me. If you do that real fast, you don't need a glove. And then I lay the meat side down to start with, and I'm gonna pull them over here to the edge, and y'all can see we just got coals in there. So what you cooking on? Let me show you. I cut this oak up into short pieces and I lay it up here on my stump right down here. And I take a hatchet and I bust it up, and y'all, that is what I'm cooking on. It is post oak. Or, well, this is actually, I think, pin oak. So we cooking over wood, and that's the way I like to cook. Obviously, I do everything my own style, so we got these ribs on here. We're gonna let them get to cooking. I may throw some sausage or something else in a little bit. You can't never tell. But we fixing to do some tomatoes and make some salsa. I don't know if I showed you what I was putting on there or not. I'm in quite a hurry, I reckon. Not really. I just seem to be in a hurry. Don't really have a reason to be in a hurry. Picking and grilling. If y'all local and you ain't eating picking and grilling, you are missing out. This is the banjo dust. I suggest you try that. It's good on everything. Alright, first thing that's going on here, I'm going to cut my tomatoes, blend them, put them in a pot, and start cooking them. I'll go through a little more in detail as we're doing it. Right here on this table, I'm going to tilt you down and let you look. I have several different tomatoes. I have tomatoes that are starting to go bad. In other words, soft spots on here. What I'm going to do is cut that off. Now these are the white. You really don't want to use any of that for anything. So we're going to cut all of that off. Probably that one will get thrown away. But these Cherokee purples don't can as good. And the hillbilly potato leaf. Y'all look at this big old tomato. Y'all ever seen such as this? But they're a good sandwich tomato. All of this is good tomatoes. I hadn't had good luck canning, but they do really good with salsa. Most of the Romas, Better Boys, celebrities, like these are celebrities. I just picked these today why they're lighter than these other ones. I lay them on this table and let them finish turning. So I want to get my salsa started and get rid of all the stuff that is maybe somewhat bad, like this one. It's just got a little soft spot, basically where, and this is a tomato knife. I have a couple of these. They work really good cutting tomatoes. I like my kitchen knives. But so like right here, I'm cutting off everything that is bad, and I've got a bucket that I'm throwing all that bad in. You want to really want all the green out. So once you get down to what you know you're going to use, I'm cutting it up in just pieces and dropping it in the blender. Okay, let me bring it up here and you can see a little closer. Okay, so I'm taking and see like this, it's got a bad spot in it. I'm cutting that completely out, and then once you inside it, you can see there's a little more of it that ain't like rotten. It's just done turned soft, and I don't like it. I don't think nobody does. If you like it, that's no power to you. But. So what I'm doing now is cutting into pieces like this. Drop them in this blender. Now the blender makes a god awful thing. And then that's where this knife comes in. If it don't go on down in there, you take that knife and cut it like that, and it pokes it a little. It'll go right on down in there. I'm always tempted to go to doing all this number. That ain't good to do. You can tear up a good blender with that. And I got it. This is a really good blender. I got it at the thrift store for about $5. So from here, we're gonna start pouring that into the stock pot. So if you've seen right here, I had all these peppers. I went down to my mom's and picked. They got already got red cayenne. I thought I was planting a lot of jalapenos for this particular purpose, really. Wound up all of it was just about banana peppers. So I have an abundance of sweet banana peppers. They going in there. They good. I love them. I eat a lot of them. I'm not mad about it. But what I do is I do a couple of blenders and I get about half full of tomatoes and start adding peppers in there. And I blend with the jalapeno seeds and all. Depends on your level of heat. If I want it really hot, I saved some of my hot sauce, what I call the mother. It's the main stock is pure blended peppers. It's ghost peppers, scorpion Trinidad, habanero, and something else. I had a third, a Carolina Reaper. And I've got that down in the shed, so I can add that to this, and half a pint of it will heat up the whole batch of salsa. So, and another thing, when you're making this, your salsa is gonna be hotter right now. Like when I start cooking this, I taste it with a spoon. And it's gonna be hotter now than it is after it's finished done. So let me tell you what goes into this. I like tomatoes, dice them up, however much tomato you want. Just blended tomatoes, pour them in the stock pot. Seeds, everything. Then I blend up whatever peppers I want. Usually banana and jalapeno the most. Habanero adds a wonderful flavor to it. I didn't plant any this year. I don't have any this year. So we're not doing that. But the jalapenos is the main thing. You want onion. You want to add cilantro to it. And I add to a pot full, I usually just add, regardless if it's more or less, about a half a cup to a cup full of apple cider vinegar. This helps with the preservation of it to keep it from going bad. Is it necessary? Probably not. We normally, once we open it, keep it in the refrigerator. But that's just the way I do it. And I got that recipe somewhat from a friend of mine I worked with that worked in a Mexican restaurant. He is a Hispanic guy. And he told me, he said, this is how we always make it. So this is kind of based off of what you eat at the Mexican restaurant. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut up the rest of these tomatoes and I'm gonna start getting everything going. And then when I start adding peppers, I'll pick you back up. Okay, I got my jalapeno. As I cut them up into pieces like that, seeds and all, you see I'm about half full of tomato juice. I'm dropping them in there. Seeds and all. That's all you gotta do. Now I will say this. If you happen not to have fresh stuff, you can make this salsa. If you go buy you a couple of big gallon, half gallon, whatever they are, cans of diced tomatoes, put them in there. You can buy a couple of jars or cans of pickled jalapeno peppers and make this. Same deal. I got a bucket down there that I'm throwing the stems in. I didn't want somebody to think I was in here just throwing stuff in the floor. You know how people are. Now look, see, right here, cut the stem off, whole pepper. Stem off, whole pepper. Right here. Now I cut these. You want them in sizes that the blender can chew up. You cut it up to your heart's content, okay? And put as much of it as you want in there. Now another thing, we have got loads of these little grape tomatoes, and you're not gonna can these because you gotta peel them and they take forever. So just drop them in there whole. You know, you need to make sure the stems is off of all of them and all. Then when you get that in there like that right there, you may have to shift her down in low gear. Like old Clovis did when he was going to school and he had pretended he was a log truck. He said he'd go up the steps at the school, said he'd drop it down into grandma. I know I didn't turn that where y'all could see, but I got my pot right here behind me. Y'all are whittling on this giant hillbilly potato leaf. Man, them things huge. This one is anyway. I mean, it's gonna fill it. One tomato's gonna fill the blender up, but now they work good in the salsa. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that they won't can, but we've had them separate. But the separating is really, it's not bad or burnt. They can't if you research it, they say all you gotta do is shake it up and you can eat it. It's just not appealing. You know, you look at it, you know, something's wrong with it. It don't look right. You know, to each their own. What are you doing, boy? He come tiptoeing through him behind the camera. He ain't wanting to talk to y'all today. What are you doing? You not talking? Cat got your tongue. And y'all, if you want to put the stems in there, it's probably not gonna hurt you. Anybody that'll eat asparagus probably would like, and I like asparagus. I can't see where them stems would not be edible. Now it's funny, we'll pick a pepper and all we'll eat is like certain parts of it, or the tomato, you're only gonna eat the tomato, but you find an edible plant outside foraging and you eat the whole plant. Yeah. So why are we not eating the tomato plant? You ain't thought of that, have you? You ponder on that in a while and let me know. Because if you Google and research things, they'll be like, it'll say all parts edible. And, foraging, people don't know about it, so they'll do, cook the whole plant. So did the first people that started eating tomatoes reckon they eat the tomato leaves first? I'm like, this ain't no good. Somebody ponder on that a while and get back with me, all right? I'd like to know your thoughts on that. Y'all, I don't even like the looks of this tomato. I don't know. It's just all wadded up. And y'all, a Cherokee purple is the ugliest tomato they ever was. I mean, look at them tomatoes. Them ugly. Now, some of them ain't. Some of them just as pretty as they could be. But anyway, y'all see is what I was doing right here. I am just cutting up this, that, and the other, blending it as I go. I will start adding onions, and I did not mention garlic cloves. Put plenty of garlic. You can buy the jars of minced garlic if you're buying cans of tomatoes or, and making it from the grocery store. You can make this from the grocery store, totally. With pickled stuff, you can use your own pickled stuff. If you pickle your jalapenos and canned tomatoes, you can take all that out later in the winter and mix it together and make salsa then. You need onion and you need garlic. So you can use that minced garlic in a jar. And see how that batch is really, really yellow. I had it in here too. So what's red? All right, right now, y'all, I am chopping up my garlic, basically mincing it. And I have got whole big, we grew this is a giant garlic, so. And y'all, I have done fooling around and got my pot over there slam full, so I need to add some more onion to it. So what I'll do is I'll dip some of the juice out and add my onion and this garlic to it. You dip it out with a coffee cup or something, it won't hurt nothing. But that garlic, I want to make sure I had it minced up pretty good. Now I'm getting my garlic in here. And we got 2 or 3 operations going on at one time, so So now that I got my onions, I've got to wash them, but I'm gonna cut this ends off before I do. Onion, Cheryl, can you get me some oregano? I mean, not maybe a little bit of cilantro. Cilantro is what we have.
You need salt?
Apple cider vinegar. Salt. Alright, y'all. I'm gonna add this back, and I just went and you can see that I am what you might call hemming full. Cilantro leaves. Lots of that. Oregano, I'm gonna put just a dab of oregano in there. Now, this is, I'm probably gonna have to let some of this evaporate out to add what of it I need, but this is just cheap apple cider vinegar, the Walmart's brand. And you just want enough to, and then I didn't mention this, but we want salt. Now, I don't know if it matters if you use iodine or non-iodine, but. And you'll be salting it taste. Now, what we're doing is evaporating the liquid out. So, it's gonna cook down, so that's why I'm not worried about it being slam full, y'all. I know somebody is like cringing, that's gonna boil over. And it is quite possible that it could. I wouldn't suggest you fill yours up this, but we're using our other big pot that I would normally do this in because we're also fixing to start canning tomatoes. Now, I'm not gonna film all the canning tomatoes. You get too much stuff in one video. So we got this going. We're gonna let this sit here and simmer and simmer and simmer. And I'll stir in it and taste it, and it'll simmer the rest of the night probably till midnight. It takes several hours to do. You want to cook this down because basically you're trying to get it to the thickness you want. Now if you like yours thinner, cook it a little while, jar it up. So anyway, let's go check on our ribs now. I'm about to get hungry, y'all. I don't know why I'm so hungry. I just ate yesterday. All right, let's see about these ribs. Oh, smells good. That is, there's a fly over here. They're trying to steal them from me. Oh yeah, they done. I always cut them in two and make sure. Now probably what I'm gonna go ahead and do is, while I got this big knife in hand, if I can do this before the flies overtake me. Does the flies try to overtake y'all when y'all cutting up good barbecue? Y'all, that is baby back ribs done right there now. If you wrap yours up in tinfoil till they come in all the pieces, you just wells to be cooking pulled pork sandwiches. You are not getting there. Oh, now let's see what this old field corn looks like. Look at there, y'all. I gotta get the silks out of it, but we're gonna. We're gonna get 2 or 3 of them off right here. They over the back. They done charred up till you just about can't see them, but hey, pile them ribs down there on one end where we can get at them. And y'all, most of them silks, that's hot. Doggone, that's hot, boys. That's what I need right there. That'll do the trick, boys. A smart man would get leather gloves to do this. I did not. So if that tells you anything about me, not tough, dumb, stupid. In other words, Elon Musk wouldn't want me working on his rockets or his Tesla cars. All I'm gonna say is if I was gonna build an electric car, the roof would be a solar panel and you wouldn't have to charge. Why we ain't thought of this already, I don't know. I'm sure they must have some good reason why it ain't happened that way. Alright. There is a couple more ears of corn upon here. And we're gonna roll them around a little bit. We may get them all. I might as well go ahead. I'm gonna leave them in the shop. All right. That'll burn up eventually. Shut the door. It'll say cut that off once you. I'll show you. My daddy built this, and that door seals up so tight when you close it off like that, it'll cut the air off, and you don't even burn your wood up. Yeah. Let's carry this on in the house and go to eating. Hey, look at him. Look at them ribs, y'all. Oh man, I'm fixing. I told y'all I'm gonna go hungry. Come on with me. You gonna wash dishes now, or you gonna eat with us? Say the blessing. Thank you, Lord, for the woods and the creek.
Thank you for the lords in the creek.
Thank you for the food we eat.
Thank you for the food we eat.
Thank you for the fish that swim.
Thank you for the fish that swim.
Thank you for all of them.
Thank you for all of them.
Thank you for the plants that grow.
Thank you for the plants that grow.
Thank you for the white-tailed doe.
Thank you for the white-tailed doe.
Thank you for the birds that sing.
Thank you for the birds that sing on the winds on the trees.
Thank you, Lord, for everything.
Thank you for the Lord for everything.
Amen.
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 Now, y'all, I didn't show y'all this, but Michelle cooked potatoes and squash on the Blackstone while I was fooling with this other stuff.
For those of you who want to do more, we're able, with your help, to provide these $25 food boxes on a monthly basis. Now that was tomatoes that she's canning over here.
When we pull this salsa out, we'll do it the same way, except it won't have the lemon juice and the salt in it. I hadn't tasted this. We're letting it cook down. When I start getting close to the thickness that I want or the consistency, then I'll start checking taste and I'll add salt to taste. I mean, you just kind of sample it and make it like you like it. What you eating, Brody? Come here. Talk to us. What kind of popsicle was you eating? He just laid it down, y'all, right up there on the counter. It's a homemade popsicle. He ain't real thrilled about it. It is dill pickle. He come over here and asked his mom, and said, why did you make them? You see the seeds in it? I love them. Brody is not digging the dill pickle popsicle, so I'm going to eat his popsicle. He went over there and got him a marshmallow. So, this is how you can tomatoes. You stand here and eat a popsicle and film her doing it in the background. It's the easiest way, I'm telling you. You want your popsicle back? I hate them.
Mama, Mommy, what was I walking to? What was I walking to? Was I walking to me?
Yeah, you're walking me. Don't tear that up.
Where'd you find them pictures? Brady has found pictures of him. He's got his feathers on him.
That's your cow.
We're fixing a water bath. The canned tomatoes, I'm fixing to jar this up. The jars are in the microwave. We heat them up in the microwave, then put this into the jars. That way the jar is hot. In the microwave, we put about 1 inch of water, and she's pouring it out now. You put about 1 inch, 1.5 inches of water in the bottom of that jar. Stick it in the microwave, and it's hot. We ready to dip this. Y'all, I have done sampled and added some salt was really all I added. Y'all can see this is done cooked down pretty thick, and it is 9 o'clock. We started what, about 7, so it's cooked about 3 or 4 hours, and we've had to stir it, keep it from sticking. Okay. I'm stopping right at the bottom of my rings. That leaves just a thread count there with so there you want to wipe the top off just like anything else you're sealing. And get that on there and put that hot, these lids just come out of the hot water. All right.
Mama, watch this.
And y'all,
Mama, what?
Brody's back there having himself a large time.
Don't fall.
And that's the way it is here every night. I used to enjoy sitting and reading at night under a lamp. You don't never know what you read. But y'all, this batch is pretty warm. You know, I had talked about adding, you could add that other sauce that I've got down there saved if I needed it. I've got enough jalapenos in here, I don't need it. And I like mine spicy. But after this cools down and stuff, it won't be, like when you open this jar up after it's been set up, it don't seem to be as hot then. Now I probably won't water bath these. We are water bathing the tomatoes that we're canning, but this will sit here and in a little while they'll pop. They'll see it. So, I got 2. So far 2 quarts. You got the other jars done?
They hot?
And y'all, I don't know if I don't know what I'm gonna do with all of it. I may have more than I got jars clean and ready to go. I've got some more jars outside I have got to finish washing. Brody is eating cake, marshmallows, popsicle. But we had ribs, he a part of 1 rib. And a few bites off ear of corn. He's living off sugar. Tell us what you're doing there for.
Trying to get this bath up. So bubble.
Before you drop them down in
Before I
there.
drop them in there. I put them in there so they can stay warm.
So you get the water started boiling before you go down into it?
Oh yeah. Because that process for 10 minutes or 20.
If somebody was wondering how she added, and I showed y'all, you seen how she put the lemon juice and the salt in there, just guesstimated? The first year that we done tomatoes, y'all, my mama had told us to put a teaspoon of salt in there. And I think we wound up putting 2 tablespoons of salt in there. And y'all, when we opened them up, you couldn't just make tomato soup as salty. So I just want to tell you, there is such thing as putting too much salt.
This stays on.
I tried to get Brody to come over here and talk to y'all. He's worried about this cake sitting over here on the counter. But y'all, we wound up with 5 quarts out of what this pot here, and we should have went on washing it, made. That is a little bit about how I make salsa. I'm sure there's some other recipes, some other ways to do it, some other ingredients you can do. This is just how I do it, and I like it this way. Now this batch come out pretty warm. Them jalapenos is hot. Them cayennes, I put them in there whole, seed and all. You can, if you want them milder, you can use less hot peppers. I mean, there's a lot you can do to adjust the heat. Just don't put as much hot. I like hot. You may not like it hot as I do. So anyway, thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. We'll see you next time. And remember, the best way to do
That's
things
the way you like to do it.
is how.
The way you like to do it.
We'll see y'all. Y'all
We'll
have a
see
good
y'all.
one.
Bye. Back.
What's in here, Brody?
Cake.
That's what's left over from a shower cake. His mama made a video on making the other day, so y'all check that video out on her channel. Southern Mud Pottery on the Homestead. We'll see y'all.
We'll see y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye, fishermen and hunters and rangers.
Whatever all y'all are.
And get your stuff. Remember, go fishing.